Welcome to the Two Dudes Game, That Game podcast. I'm Ender. That guy over there is James. It's been a while. We haven't been here.
A long
We've been
while.
doing other things. About a month. I think we had about a month off there. The world is coming back together. People are heading back to work. I mean, in our area, at least we're
in your world, it finally went back.
My world, we're actually going back into the office, and
fun's over.
Outdoor sports is starting. Like, it's warm enough to like walk outside without freezing your butt off. So you got a lot of the stuff with the kids starting up. So yeah, it's really changing rhythm, changing routine, which takes a little bit to get it all back together when you have other things and this isn't your main job that you're doing every day. So I think we've got the schedules figured out. At least mine is now somewhat consistent, as it got a little hectic there on really just trying to get the kids to all the different things they had. My daughter was doing dance, gymnastics, soccer, plus chess club, all either once or twice a week on every day. Then my son had his gymnastics, or I guess what they call ninja club, the American Ninja stuff that they do, and his own soccer and t-ball. So it just got hectic there for a while. And then we started playing some new games. Started playing more games, which was nice to just kind of play and not pay attention to really anything that's going on in the gaming world.
The politics of gaming. We just got to actually enjoy gaming.
Yeah. It's interesting how that happens. And it's funny because we enjoy it. Like, for me, I actually got to enjoy it more from getting away from the games that caused me the headache of politics.
Yeah.
Which, getting away from Call of Duty, not playing as much, or at all, really, until they decide to try to fix the game. We played a couple of games, but we get on and we go to play trios. And we're like, okay, normal game mode, trios. Only thing that's available is mini trios. They don't have anything else, but you can play mini regular battle royale trios or Ashika Island. That's it. Like, normal battle royale is not there. Anything. It's like, why?
So it's like it's like you try to go back and enjoy it, and the very first time you jump in, immediate roadblock.
Yeah, and I'm not even considering that a roadblock. Like, I like the mini royale for my gameplay. I'm much better at the mini royale than I am the larger game, because you just get in and start fighting. Yeah. It's not about getting loadouts. You don't have to, there's not many rotations. The circle's already pretty much closed. So you're playing, fourth circle in already. So it's whatever you grab on the ground and go. And, for someone like me, it plays well. And we got a second place, and I lost it for the team. I had a 2-on-1 opportunity, and I downed the first guy and just missed the shots on the second guy. And he ended up killing me. One of those things where he killed me right as I heard the break sound of his armor. So I'm like, oh, I was at least a shot or two away.
Yeah.
Not anything on him. He had the shots. I missed him because I downed his first guy, tried to swap over to him. And I think I probably hit the rock in front of him a couple times where I thought I was on him, but it was really just bouncing off the rock in front of him to where you couldn't see the bottom half of his body. So good plays. We came in second and then the 7th place, but it plays towards me. And I think a single player can carry those games with a little bit of support here and there. But it is kind of like we said, you get back there and you're just like, really?
Are you trying?
We're still trying to figure out if we have enough capacity to run all the servers. Like, you don't have enough players. Like, the player base is there.
I don't know if the player base is there. That's what I read all the time. The little bit of scrolling I do on Twitter, everyone's saying the player base is down. People are going back to Warzone.
Player base. So that's
Warzone
the thing,
1.
though. If your player base is at the highest that it can be, let's just say, I don't even know what it is now. I haven't looked at the numbers in a while, but let's just say you have, and these are not real numbers, so don't quote me on this. Let's just say you have 200,000 people playing at any given time. 200,000 people are probably enough to run 2 different game modes: solos, duos, quads, and trios. Like, you should be able to run all of them without any problem. So if you come down, let's say 50,000 people one night,
Yeah.
you still have enough to run those. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like that excuse of like, oh, people are leaving. It's like not leaving it the aspect of where it's like, oh my God, we can't run these servers, but leaving in the aspect of we're not selling as many skins anymore. We're not selling like what do you mean by leaving? Like, how is that hurting your gameplay? Are you looking at it from a revenue standpoint or an actual player standpoint?
Yeah.
Because I go look, it seems like there's always people on. Never have a problem getting into a game. Go play PUBG if you want to talk about a community that has no players left.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I enjoy that game, but it's definitely tough.
I mean, you can't even play ranked. We learned that. We did the grind for ranked and we got in, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, unless you're playing like European servers, you can't play it. You know, and they come out with the ranked gameplay, and I know we're going on the Call of Duty rant here, but
Shocking.
they come out with the ranked gameplay, and I saw this from Nate Shot. This was a while ago, and I mean it may have been 3 weeks ago, but we see the Nate Shot's playing, and he actually just comes out with they did everything right. Their rank mode did everything right. So you think that the hope is going to come back with ranked Warzone.
Yeah.
Like that's where I feel like we'll come back. But if they don't make Warzone at least start to not feel like multiplayer with how fast you die in that game, I just don't think people are going to come around for ranked. I think it's just going to be too frustrating in ranked because in ranked play, you don't want a lot of RNG determining the outcome. And RNG, if you're not familiar, is just random number generator. You know, he happens to hit a headshot, I hit a headshot. What number randomly pops up? Who gets the kill? You know, it's just a random number that generates every time you shoot somebody. And that's what it feels like now. And I mean, they got sub 400 millisecond, or what was it? Sub 400 millisecond TTKs.
Yeah,
that's astronomical. That's super fast. We're talking about in Warzone, but even in Warzone 1, we got to that point. But in Warzone 1, you were so damn fast that you could still get out of those like 500 millisecond TTKs. You still had an opportunity to get around a corner. Here you don't. It's impossible. But anyway, so we'll see. I mean, they got another mid-season update. Have they even had that yet? I don't even know.
I think they did. But I mean, that tells you how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah, so I guess season 3 is what we're waiting for now. See what happens there.
Yeah, season 3. I'd like to. I mean, that's when ranked is supposedly coming. But with their track record, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I expect them to come out a week or so before and say, due to unforeseen circumstances, we're going to delay the ranked for Warzone until the mid-season. Like, it's like you can almost already see it coming.
Yeah, but again, as long as you're actually fixing legitimate problems, because like they had to push back the ranked multiplayer, and they nailed it.
Yeah,
they did. We couldn't get a group together to play long enough. Then we took our breaks, but that had nothing to do with it being good. Like we would get on to play that, and that was it.
Yeah, true.
And then, it was just us two in there. We're like, you know what? We're probably luck of the draw of who we get paired with, but it was still fun. The gameplay still had that, like, coming to the end. The matchmaking worked pretty well. Like, I didn't feel like we were getting destroyed by other teams unless you just had a team that wasn't paying any attention.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It just got frustrating with, again, like you said, you almost need 3 solid players, and then you could have a random, but 2 good players and then 2 randoms that don't know what they're doing or not communicating. It makes that really tough.
Well, I also think we got to a point to where the overall player base moved up so high that as bronze to 3s and 4s, like we weren't getting in any matches because no one was down there anymore.
Yeah,
because the group that was playing kind of shifted up. So you have that, and that's our own fault. Like that's jumping in super late, trying to play as 2. That's us. That's not the gameplay.
Yeah,
that was not the mode that caused that. So yeah, I think if they're moving it back, or if they historically move it back like they do, but it's to make sure that it's right, by all means move it back.
Yeah.
communicate why, like let us know why, and say, hey, there's this bug, there's that bug. We want to fix these things because we think they're game breaking. Okay, cool. I'd rather you launch it than have to hot patch it and we have some like ridiculous thing that was never supposed to be in the game, like, you know, no glint snipers. Like we had that one time when it first came out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they knew that was a problem and they put it in the game anyway. Like, no, go fix that. Like, that's a big issue.
Well, apparently I did notice on St. Patrick's Day, they added that if you got to the end of the rainbow, you got the sniper that literally one-shot everybody no matter where you hit them. And everyone seemed to have fun with that. And again, it's like, this is something I don't understand. They know the outcry of the community wants one-shot snipers back if you headshot. So instead of giving that, it's almost like they troll everyone, throw in a gun that one-shots everybody for a couple of days, and then take it away. And again, don't even acknowledge whether they're going to bring back snipers or not.
No, because I don't think that's a troll. I think it's more of, see, here it is. You guys didn't really want this.
Yeah, but they made it you could shoot someone in the ankle
like a motherfucker after it. Yeah, but still. It's their whole point of like, oh, see, did you really want that? Did you really want that? Here's a one-shot sniper, guys. Here's what it looks like. And it's like, okay, now you're taking it to an extreme because you're assholes.
Yeah.
And you want that kind of turmoil in the game and you want to create that. And it's all based off of hype. How many people came back to the game to go grab that? Oh, can I get that sniper and have the one where I can shoot everybody at the ankle? Like, let me give this a shot. And you see this influx in people coming on just to do that one thing because it's around this event. And then everybody falls off again because the event goes away and we're back to the normal, you know, let me grab my RPK, let me grab my Fennec, let me grab my Seiken, let me grab my normal guns, the normal 4 guns we've been playing with since the beginning. And let me hope that I see them first. Like that's the gameplay that you're at. But there are other games out there. There's some other games out there that are fun to play. We've recently dove into survival games. SCUM being the first one that we played that we literally lost track of time.
Yeah.
On the worst possible day to lose track of time.
Yeah, it was not,
especially on the
smart.
East Coast.
It was not smart for us.
No, you in Central, I don't think you got hit as hard as I did on the East Coast.
No, I don't think yours was worse. So, that's for sure.
Yeah, we lost track of time on daylight savings, the last daylight savings, because I don't think we're having it ever again. So it would be nice to.
What do you want to?
Certain states.
Yeah, true. Do you want to give a breakdown for people that don't know what SCUM is, or? You know, I'll throw some gameplay footage up here off of YouTube just to.
You can. It's a survival game. You're basically
DayZ 2.0.
I didn't play DayZ, so I mean that's what people are saying. But you're a convict that gets dropped into this map, this world. I guess it's not really an island. This walled off piece of land. Walls on one side and water on the other, and you have to survive. You literally drop in with nothing. You have on a jumpsuit. You craft a little knife, and you can craft guns. And you can see James right there. I think dismembering a body. Maybe no, he's creating rags.
Creating rags
to build something. Probably a quiver or an improvised backpack or something. But yeah, you just go on and survive. And you know, we played for a while and it's not a complete game. There's not a lot to do solo. But then we joined some of the multiplayer servers, and that was kind of where so it's a little bit different than, I guess it's not different, but people host their own servers for multiplayer.
Yeah.
So you have to join somebody else's servers and you play by their rules. So I'm on a couple of different servers, and one of them is a pure PvP server where all the loot is super easy to get. All the mechs that are on there are turned off, and mechs are these giant mechanical things that basically protect all of the high level loot in the bunkers and things that you want to get to. You have zombies that are running around. They call them puppets that are trying to eat you and kill you. But you play by the server's rules. So James and I joined one of the servers, which is a YouTuber that we watch. I can't think of his name. Luthorius or something like that. Luthus.
This is actually his gameplay.
Yeah. So shout out to him because he's runs some really good servers. He also has a good Discord that I became part of. And we started our own little clan on there, and we're trying to
work our
build
way
up and work our way up through the bottom. And I mean, you don't see a lot of people because the map's pretty big.
The map's probably the biggest thing I've ever played.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but as far as one open world seamless.
I played World of Warcraft.
I don't know how to. I never played it, so I don't know how. Like,
it's open world.
There's no loading screens or anything between.
If you want to go to the other world, like,
okay, gotcha.
It's so big, there are multiple worlds. But yeah, I mean, other than World of Warcraft, this is the largest map that I've seen.
The thing I like about it is all the, and he was showing it a little bit ago when he was trying to eat and do food. It tracks all of your, like, literally everything from the fat you have, the carbs you eat, the saturated fats, like literally everything. And your character changes in size based on your diet. I mean, you even have to go to the bathroom in this game or you could end up dying if you don't take care of yourself. It's probably the most extreme, realistic survival game I think I've ever played.
I mean, there's a lot of I mean, the air quote realism. There's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to in order to keep yourself alive, which you would have to do. You have to drink, you have to eat. You're always hungry, you're always thirsty.
Yeah, the learning curve at the beginning is a little steep until you get the hang of the eating and drinking.
Yeah, it's steep. But there's a lot of good starter YouTube videos out there that can kind of get you to the point to where you're not just dying from disease like we were. Realize that if you wear a heavy backpack and go in water, you sink. I learned that the hard way.
Listen, I'd love for you to dive into that story. We talk about some interesting things. Your stories happen interesting in this game because, like you said, the game's not finished and there's no true in-game. So the story is kind of what you create in your own gameplay, right? And this is a moment that we had lasted, about 35, 45 minutes. And you were trying to end the night early.
I was pissed. Yeah, I was trying to leave early. So you have a swimming stat that you have to build up. And I'm assuming as you build that up with your strength, you can carry more weight on you and swim.
But you don't know what that threshold is.
No, I have no idea. Like, I didn't even know if it existed. Like, didn't even know that was a thing until we went and looked after this happened. You actually saved me there because I wasn't thinking about it because I was just trying to get out of the water.
Oh yeah, I did shout out to you, which is rare for me to give you a good idea.
Yeah. And so I had a full backpack on, like, I mean, hiking backpack, which is the largest backpack that you can have. So really hard to find. Like, these are not easy things to find. I think I've found like 4 of them total in the, I don't know.
And all the time we
4
played.
of them on a normal loot server, like not some of these servers that they crank up the loot and you can just find everything easily. So I really didn't want to lose this backpack because I just had found thread. I just fixed it. Like, so I found the backpack damaged. So you have to make your own thread. So you had to find a needle, find thread, make a sewing kit, sew it all up. And we're talking like 6 hours worth of gameplay just to make this backpack whole and be able to carry everything in it. And I also found a boat. So we had a mode of transportation, which is really hard right now because
good.
The vehicles are out of the game. So right now it's in beta like every game in the world. So there's not a lot of cars in the game, so they're hard to find, especially on some servers where everyone has already taken them because you only have so many cars on the server at one point in time anyway. So if they're all found. Like, you got to go raid somebody and steal their car. Like, that's the only way you're going to get one, or find the new bikes that are on there. And we found some bikes that people locked up. Yeah, there was nothing we could do because we couldn't pick the locks. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm trying to jump back into the boat
to drive up to where I'm at.
To drive up to where James was at, and I didn't know we had to anchor the boat. Because in all the other games, you get out of the boat and the boat stays where it is. But I'm in a river, so it flows. So the boat hadn't gone far, but it had shifted off of the bank to where I had set it. So I couldn't walk up to the boat. So I'm like, I can make this jump. So I run, jump, and I jump over the boat. Like I jump too far. And I'm like, ah, crap, let me swim back to the thing. Nope, I just sink. And I'm at the bottom of this river, and I'm like, James, I'm gonna die. Like I'm sinking. I don't know. I can't swim. Like my character can't swim. I didn't understand what was going on. I was pissed. And then finally, James was like, your backpack is probably too heavy. Take it off. So I dropped my backpack in the middle of this fucking river
with all your loot,
with all my loot, man.
But we've probably spent what 2 hours looting.
2 hours looting in there, and we had things we needed. So I get out, and my backpack's there, and so the game has a unique feature which I do like. When you can search, but if anything's in your vicinity, it will show up in the search bar. So right here, you'll see it if you're watching, like right there, it says vicinity at the top, and you can see the things around you. So the nice thing about vicinity is you don't have to be looking at it to equip it. You can just click on it since it's in your vicinity and you equip it. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the boat over top of my backpack. And if it's in the vicinity, I can see it and I can put it on, but I'll be in the boat so I won't sink.
But the problem is the river's flowing.
The river's flowing. So like I have to drive the boat upstream and let it float down and time it. So then I find a thing on there, which is it's roll left and roll right and nudge forward and nudge backwards.
I forgot about that.
This is what makes it worth it.
I wish we had video of this because it would have been amazing.
Yeah. So what happens is, it's not a finished game and there's a lot of sharp corners and things that you can get stuck on. So the developers were nice enough to allow you to nudge things around to move them out of being stuck. So I thought, okay, if I can just get over top of it, I can just continue to nudge it backwards or roll it to the left, roll it to the right. And in my mind, I'm thinking roll left, roll right is move, nudge left, nudge right. I'm reading this wrong because I'm in a boat. So I get over top of my backpack and I hit roll right. I flip the fucking boat over. It literally rolls the boat upside down.
But it's delayed a little bit too, which is the best part.
But it's delayed because it
so
takes
it looks like
minute.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah. So then I roll the boat over and it's flowing downstream. So I got to run to catch up with the boat, jump in the water, try to time it. And again, everything's delayed here because the controls aren't the best. Time it to roll it back over. Because I can't get in the boat to drive it back up.
And you still don't have the backpack.
Still don't have the backpack. Did this for like 20 minutes. Solid 20 minutes. Finally got back in the boat, drove up, and my plan worked. I was able to get over top of it once I realized what it was, re-equip my backpack. All this to say, the game has a lot of world effects. I had just recently got attacked. Didn't know that you can get infections after you've healed things because your healing doesn't heal over till you have your bleeding. Like, hey, this is a wound bleeding.
Yeah.
You have a recovery stage, and then you have a secondary recovery stage, like when it's all or a sustained stage and like a recovery stage. Well, I get an infection, and we have no antibiotics. No alcohol, no nothing to save my life. And I slowly die and lose everything anyway.
Yeah.
Through getting an infection. And it's just like
the hard part about the game is when you do die, the nice and
you
hard
lose
thing,
everything. And you dive back in.
You lose everything, you immediately dive back in. So your character keeps building their stats a little bit, but you lose everything. But the problem is it doesn't just drop you in where you died. And you have a small window where you could go and recover your stuff, but it's about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on where you are on the reset time. And sometimes it drops you 7 squares away, and you just no chance.
There's no
chance to get back. So it is pretty interesting. The other funny story that I have, you talked about us jumping into the multiplayer servers, and the other day you and I were looting, trying to find a base.
Oh yeah,
and we come across, we realize this roar. We keep hearing this roar out in the middle of the forest, and we don't really understand what it is. We've come across a lot of the animals in this game, but we're not 100% sure what it is because it's a pretty unique roar. Turns out to be a bear. So a bear's coming up to Ender, is chasing him. I'm like, run into the house. So we run in separate houses because we happen to come across this town. And We were able to kill the bear from inside
We
the house.
glitched it on a fence.
Yeah, it got stuck on a fence. So we start shooting arrows at this bear. We kill it. So then we chop it up. It's the first time, Ender, I think it's the first time you've chopped anything up to make steaks.
Yeah.
But I had just learned from another player that I ran into in the game who literally told me, I came across him and he said, hey, next time you come across someone like me, shoot first, ask to be friends later. He's like, just trust me. No one is going to be your friend. We turned out to be friends. He taught me a ton of stuff. One of the things is instead of building a fire and cooking the steak and all this.
I sold a card to the next day.
Yeah, you sold the card to the next day. So one of the things that he taught us is you can actually chop up the animals to where you get the steaks and then make a meat skewer. And it's probably just a bug in the game for now, and they'll probably fix it in later patches. But you can eat, like if you eat raw meat, you're gonna get sick just like you would in real life, and that's how it's gonna affect you in this game. But if you do a meat skewer, for whatever reason, the game doesn't recognize that it's still raw, and you can eat that completely and refill your energy. So here we are on this multiplayer server in the middle of the road.
We hadn't heard anybody for like all day.
2.5, 3 hours. Hadn't seen one person. A few little chat in the global chat. Next thing you know, I can't even speak because I'm trying to yell to Ender. And then eventually I just yell car because I'm already running.
Dude, and I'm chopping this thing up in the middle of the street, not paying any attention.
And a car came through, tried to run us over.
Yeah.
So we're hiding.
And they circled, so we're hiding, and finally they leave, and I hit global chat, and it was basically like, hey, who just tried to run us over in like C4 or wherever we were at? And they're like, dude, my dude was just chopping up, was processing meat in the middle of the road. What do you expect?
I will say, as far as community goes, I don't feel like anyone's going to be our friend necessarily if we see them face to face. But any global chat that happens in the game is some of the funniest.
Well, I think that also is a testament to the community that this YouTuber has built.
Yeah.
Because it's his community, and he does a good job at keeping the toxicity out, and he has a rule set. Like, you follow the rules or you're gone.
Yeah.
They're pretty strict.
I died the other day and landed so far away, and I was just running, trying to get back to where Ender and I have a camp set up, and running. After an hour and a half, I type in the chat, who wants to pick me up? I'm sick of running. And multiple people, hey, tell me your location and I'll come get you. And another person goes, don't tell him your location. He's going to come kill you. And he goes, no, I won't kill you. And I said, well, now I feel nervous. I don't know
if you do kill me, you're not going to get anything. Like, that's the best time to do it.
I don't know if I want it. Well, I had been looting for about an hour and a half. So I had guns and I had a few other things. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to help you. And they said, well, what can you give me? I said, I have food. He says, I don't need food. I said, listen, we almost got ran over the other day. He goes, oh, and I there was people on the server again. They said, oh, you again. And I said, I go, I don't understand your guys' problem. We were over there trying to set up a food truck on the side of the road to feed all of you. And you guys are not taking advantage of that.
We're trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
And make a dollar
the
community, at the same time.
The community is really, really funny, in my opinion, on how they go with this. So I'm really enjoying the game. You've been really enjoying the game. I can't imagine it's something that we're really going to change too much of what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am, as my background has, I've been playing Sons of the Forest,
which we're going to dive into probably tonight because I have it.
Yeah, so Sons of the Forest is interesting because it's I would say SCUM light, and it's more of a co-op single player game. Like, you can play this as a single player. They do have missions. You can complete the game. Like SCUM, you can't complete the game. You know, Sons of the Forest, you can. I know there was the Forest before Sons of the Forest, so a lot of people played that. I didn't. But I've had the building's super easy. The learning curve's not as steep. It has you have like these survival books and things like that you can read in order how to get to stuff. It's more futuristic. There are cannibals and mutants and caves you can go into. And man, I went into a cave the other day and it was like super dark. I had this like, here I am walking through a cave with a spear that I made from a stick and a little lighter trying to walk through it. And I just see these things at the end and I'm like, nope, turn around, run back out of the cave. Like, I ain't going down there yet. Not ready. But again, just another survival based game. And I'm playing on normal. And dude, I've died like 4 times now and had to start over. Because in that game, you have 2 chances. So you die the first time, you go to like the cannibal's base and they kind of let you go.
Yeah.
And then if you die the second time, game's over. And it's really just trying to survive a certain amount of days. Because I believe, and again, I don't know, I haven't played it that many times. I've only gotten through 2 days. I believe the more days you play, the more waves of cannibals and stuff, they start to know you're there. So you have to like build up your base, build up your traps, get the different stuff around the island, find all the points of interest that you need to be able to defend yourself to like survive this island for a certain amount of days as these waves of enemies come.
Yeah.
So different thing, but still super interesting. And here's kind of the intro as you land on the island. But
yeah, I'm live on Facebook, by the way, and a few people, somebody had asked what game it was. So the first game we were talking about, if you had just joined late, was SCUM, and now we're talking about Sons of the Forest, both survival crafting games. To recap you real quick, SCUM they're both is Sons of the Forest an official release, or is it still beta?
No, it's beta.
So they're both beta, but SCUM is kind of open world. You can't really finish the game, and Sons of the Forest, which unique about it, and Ender was just talking about it, you can actually get to an ending. There is an end game in this.
Yeah. Yeah, so in Sons of the Forest, you're there and if you look at the computer, and then you can like change the computer screen and stuff. You're there to find this eccentric billionaire that's on this island that no one's heard of. And then that's the island that you're on, and there's all these points of interest that you already have on this GPS device that you have. And so you pretty much crash, and survival is now the thing. And you get a little buddy called Kelvin that's deaf, that walks around because he got hit so hard, and he helps do stuff for you, which is super nice. I love that feature in the game, because one of the most pain in the ass things is gathering resources, and now you have a little buddy to help you gather resources and things like that. So even if you're playing solo, you're not necessarily playing just by yourself. You know, you have something that can help you get sticks, get fish, get food, make a fire, build a shelter.
Yeah.
Do those different things while you do something else, like kill all the cannibals that are trying to eat you. So anyway,
do you find that to be more realistic, or
no?
It's just it's more arcadey, you think?
Definitely more arcadey. Like, I mean, right off the bat, you get like these circuit boards, and it's like delayed bomb. Like, it's very, there's a lot of arcadishness to it, I would say, but the survival's survival. Like, you got to eat, you got to build, you got to have shelter. Like, you die. I mean, these cannibals are not happy that you're on this island. They're coming after you.
Yeah, you know.
So
I played the original one, which was called The Forest. But the interesting thing, and I was telling you this maybe a couple weeks ago when we talked about maybe doing this. I've never played The Forest on PC or on anything. I played the entire time of the first one in VR, which was super unique and interesting because the way you had to do all the mechanics. But I never got to the end of that game because anytime I played by myself, like these cannibals and the creatures and the you know, I know in this game they like hide behind the trees and stuff, do like that. They did that in the first game, but it is a whole different ball game when you're trying to do that in VR.
Yeah, they'll be in the trees, and like they don't always attack you. Sometimes they're just watching,
which is almost scarier than them attacking you.
It can be weird, and then some, like, you can sleep in this game, and like you basically sleep and then you wake up, and then you're surrounded by like 6 cannibals, and you're like, oh, sleeping is very interesting. Yeah, I got to make sure that you do that when you think no one's gonna come attack you. Because they're there and they don't want you there, and they're trying to move it. And you have 2 different things. You have the cannibals and you have the mutants. So there's 2 enemy types. And the like lower level, I think they call them babies, mutants, are super creepy because they crawl around on all 4s, jumping on trees, and they attack you. And it's a horror survival game. Like,
I'm not really looking forward to. The only thing I'm stressed about playing this a little bit later is that all I'm going to hear in the group chat later is how big of a baby James is, because horror games
I haven't
terrify
gotten a lot
me.
of jump scares in this game. Like there hasn't been a lot.
What you think is a jump
But I
scare
haven't-
and what I think are going to be two
I
different
guess.
things.
Yeah, but I haven't gone into a lot of caves yet, just because I don't have the ability to do it with the gear that I have. Like I'm just setting myself up for death in there. But anyway, I think that's good for our episode back.
Well, there
Short and
is
sweet.
one other thing I want to say that I want to bring
Oh
up.
boy.
And
Another
listen,
half hour.
no, it's not another half hour, but I want to know your opinion. It's the only real big news that you and I knew that happened, but we haven't talked about it. I want to know your opinion. So for about a week, everyone went nuts about how there was this Call of Duty clone in Roblox. And everyone's like, wow, you can make that in the Roblox engine. You can do this. This is amazing. And as that started to pick up steam and during Call of Duty kind of going the wrong way, everybody's trying to make Call of Duty clones. What got surprise launched last week that blew
I don't know if it was
everybody
surprise
away?
To us, but I don't
Surprise
know if it was
to us, yeah.
But the Fortnite like Forge, I don't know what they call it, for Unreal 5.
Fortnite Creative 2.0 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was. I've seen some of the stuff people have built. I mean, you've played it. I think people are dying. I think I know where you're going with this, but the fact that someone was still able to build what they built in Roblox takes nothing away. I mean, this is the most powerful game engine that you can possibly get a hold of. So yes, it's going to look better. But what the guy did in Roblox, when you look at what the engine that he was using,
oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm not taking it away.
The ability that he did, it was amazing. But I think the more of the problem you have here is Fortnite just slapped Halo in the face by saying, "Oh, you brought out your Forge and you can do this. Well, here you go."
Yeah,
like this is 10 times the power that anyone else has or anything else that you can do, and you're behind. And you know, I'm very interested to see where the community is going to go with it. I want to play around with it and try to make something on my own.
What do you think about their take on a lot of these other engines? You can make games, but what do you think about Fortnite's take and Epic's take on allowing you to make stuff and then sell it?
I think by having that in place, they just take away a lot of the legal issues that they're going to have, and they're going to make some money off of the fact that you're able to build a game and people play it. Like, what if it becomes the next biggest thing and they just end up buying the game? Like it's a way to give indie developer. Let me rephrase that. It's a way to give good storytellers the ability to easily create a game.
Yeah.
And I don't know how easy it is. I don't know how much coding you need to understand. I don't know all of that aspect of it, but it seems relatively easy and basic knowledge of coding with the Fortnite world around it and their backing and everything there in Unreal 5. So like right here, you're looking at like a Fortnite character that looks like Gears of War.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also tells you how far ahead Gears of War was, because I still compare everything to the graphics back then.
Yeah. I mean, they're in Unreal as well. So, and the Gears of War developers are some of the best developers with the Unreal Engine. So
yeah, I mean, it's just, I think one, why not? You have a good platform, and I think they're split at what is a 70-30 split or something?
I think it's 60-40 actually.
60-40. So okay, I mean, it's a good split. It's not terrible. So let them do it. You make some money on the side. People have a game. It's still your game.
Yeah. I mean, people have been modding games in Fallout and Skyrim and stuff, like full expansions for free that you could just, now to do the, I'm excited to see what people can do. The other thing I'm excited about is this being a very kid-friendly game. I'm excited to see what's just the stuff that people come up with, and who knows, maybe there's a kid that didn't even realize they wanted to be a game developer, but because they grew up playing Fortnite, now they become one of the best video game developers ever. They're introducing, we do the other podcast, Parents First Gaming, but I just like the fact they're introducing ways to change the gaming world almost in an educational way without maybe necessarily meaning to, but the opportunities are still there.
Well, I think whenever you have, a builder and you can build off of it and you have a product that people like, and it's a free game anyway, it's not like they're making their money off of the game. they make their money off of the skins and all the other stuff that they have. So that's not going to go away.
Yeah.
People aren't going to stop playing Fortnite because, well, one, there's nothing else to go play. I also don't like this update as much as I like the other ones, but still I haven't played enough to really have an opinion on that. That's just my old man opinion. You changed things I liked. You know, like I haven't really given it a shot, so I'm not going to say anything there. That's just my normal grumpiness when I go in and try to do something like that's different. Why'd you change it?
Yeah, when you
idiots?
take a couple months off Fortnite and go back, it's almost like you're playing a completely. It's like it feels familiar, but the game is so different. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, and
what gun do I need to use now?
And that's where you have to like step back and look at yourself and be like, am I really giving this a shot? Probably not. I'm just being grumpy, so I'm not going to call because it could be an amazing update. I have no idea. But I just think what you have there is the possibility for, you know, someone to really kind of take over. This is me. If I was going to do it, and I don't know what I can do, I don't know what I can't do, I don't know if I can create assets, I don't know what I can. But if somebody creates a survival Tarkov-like extraction game inside of the Fortnite realm.
Oh, it'll be
with everything that they have there. I don't know if you can do it with what they give you.
Because the scavs are key always. I think that's the biggest thing in that type of game.
But the AI is not that bad in Fortnite.
No, they're not.
Yeah, so like, but they're also like, Fortnite could be because like 1 year if you're doing Star Wars, they could just be all Star Wars characters. Like you could change that up, but and that's just their branding that they do things. But if you think about taking the Fortnite map, the Fortnite gameplay, the smoothness of the running, and you create this extraction type looter shooter game, it'd be interesting.
Could be fun.
Yeah, you already have all kinds of guns types, and you have very simple guns. You don't really need a lot of attachments. So like you build that outside story of here's all of the missions you need to do inside the story to progress your character and stuff like that.
Maybe that should be our project.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list of things that we're supposed to do, like record every week.
Let's get Trex and them on it.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that could do it, but getting them to do things is not always the easiest.
They like to tell everyone else how to do it.
That's true.
Like it's the explanation I got from Trex today on what to do with some of our intro videos was it almost seemed like they could do it in about 30 seconds. And now I'm reading everything they're saying, which is in English, but it might as well be in Chinese because I'm like, they just kept adding on and adding on and adding on.
It'd probably take her 15 seconds.
I'm like, great. The thing I asked for your opinion on took me 5 hours to do.
Yeah, no, but you don't ask, and I'm not going to put out where we work or anything like that, but you don't ask us for our opinion. Because you're going to get it.
I mean, I don't want to discourage getting it. I like to get it. No,
but you're going to get it, and you're going to get the most in-depth breakdown that you've ever had in there, and it's all because I'm going to be nice, because I know that's not normally me, but you are talking about some of the smartest people that you've ever worked with.
Yeah. That
are in that room, and I put them up against anyone. I'm the dumbest one in that group. Like,
well, I give you a run for the money.
Yeah, but that's outside. That's not. You came into the group, like you weren't added in part of that. It wasn't like we brought you in for that reason.
I almost feel like we should say a bunch of mean stuff about her just to see if she brings it up, because then she can prove whether she watched this or not.
Well, we can tell her we said a bunch of mean stuff, and if she's like, then she goes and listens to it, then we could figure out if she actually goes back and listens to it.
It's true.
She only listens to it on YouTube, though.
That's true.
Take that clip out and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's only listens. I doubt she watches, just in the background. Anyway. So got cool stuff from Fortnite. If you're a developer, please go check it out, especially if you're wanting to understand the Unreal 5 engine or get your hands dirty with it. I do love when they put those stuff out for free for people to mess around with, give people the opportunity to learn and play and just have fun stuff that's out there. And again, I think it's more of a slap in the face to Halo's Forge that they wanted to put out than anything else. Because not only are we going to give you all of the tools, we're going to just give you all the tools in a developer setting to completely do it, not inside the game.
Yeah, true.
Where you're limited. All right. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Two Dudes That Game. You can catch us on Facebook over on James's page, YouTube at Two Dudes That Game, and you can also catch us on Twitch if we're ever streaming there at IMender_TV or James the Third. Thank you for listening. Have a great night. We're out.